Our planet forest contains some of the most valuable resources we have. They provide clean air, source of food, construction material and much more. Also, forest is major line of defense against climate change. A single tree can absorb at least 48 pounds of carbon dioxide per year. A single tree can generate about 0.72 to 13.2 pounds, or roughly 0.3 to 6 kilograms, of oxygen. Forest the home of animals, plants, fungi, insects and birds. Even after all, this forest area is declining at an alarming rates. This process is known as deforestation. Each year approximately 15 billion trees are lost due to deforestation. This makes deforestation a major issue for climate change, and more than world 13% carbon emission as when tree get cut it release a large amount of carbon dioxide which it has stored in it. Total loss. An estimated 420 million hectares of forest have been lost since 1990, an area larger than Libya. Rapidly increasing rates of agriculture is accounting for over 80% of forest loss in 2018. It is driven by subsistence farming in some areas and large-scale commercial agriculture, for beef, soy, and palm oil, in others. Also because of industrial expansion, wildfire, timber logging and mining. All this driven by relentless economic expansion and population growth. Due to deforestation, many animals losing their home, many animals losing their lives in this process. Deforestation statistics in Punjab. Natural forest loss, 2024, 126 hectares of natural forest were lost in 2024, releasing 24.7 kilotons of CO2 emissions. Tree cover loss, 2001 to 2024. The state lost 1.41 kilotons of tree cover, representing 1.9% of its tree cover in 2000. Primary driver. Agriculture is the main driver of deforestation and has contributed significantly to the loss of natural habitats in Punjab. What are threatened species? A threatened species is any species, including animals, plants and fungi, which is vulnerable to extinction in the near future due to habitat loss, hunting, poaching, wildfire or pollution. The International Union of Conservation of Nature (IUCN) is the organization that decides whether a species is threatened or not. Threatened species are further categorized in three parts. First, endangered. Second, vulnerable. Third, rare. Endangered species. Species which are threatened to be extinct species, they often has a small habitat or they are the species which has small population. Example: sea turtle. Vulnerable species. These are the species whose population has declined so much that they are likely to move into endangered category in the near future, if negative factors continue to operate. For example, giant panda. Rare species. Rare species are plants or animals with very small populations or limited ranges that are infrequently encountered. Example: Javan rhinoceros. The impacts of deforestation on wildlife. Deforestation causes significant problems for wildlife by leading to habitat loss, habitat fragmentation, and increased human-wildlife conflict. When forests are cleared, countless species lose their homes and the resources they need to survive, leading to population declines and, in some cases, extinction. Habitat fragmentation divides continuous forests into smaller, isolated patches, which can limit species movement, reduce genetic diversity, and disrupt breeding patterns. Punjabi urial is on Red List of IUCN Invulnerable. In year 2011 there were 2,500 estimated population calculated by Punjab Wildlife and Parks Department. In year 2018 there were approximately 2,700 which was calculated by Punjab Wildlife Protection Department. In year 2022 there were only 3,484 individuals which was surveyed in Salt and Kala Chitta range. Deforestation is a serious threat to the endangered Punjab urial, as it destroys and fragments the wild sheep's natural habitat. Agricultural expansion, illegal logging for fuelwood, and urban development have severely reduced the urial's habitat, leaving it vulnerable to other pressures like poaching and competition from livestock. Deforestation and habitat degradation harm ureal populations in several ways: disruption of the ecosystem, increased human-animal contact, habitat fragmentation, and loss of food and shelter. Blackbuck is classified as least concern globally in Punjab. Its population is critically low. In year 2021 there were only 21 animals sighted by wildlife. Institute of India, in year 2022 there were 44 animals were sighted by Wildlife. Institute of India, in year 2025 there were around 100 individuals were sighted by Divisional Forest Officer, DFO, Ferozpur. Habitat loss often occurs due to conversion to agricultural land and urbanization rather than classic forest clearing. As animals native to grasslands and light woodlands, their open habitats are critical for survival. The consequences of this habitat destruction include shrinking and fragmented habitats, reduced genetic diversity, migration and resource competition, increased conflict with humans, higher risk of poaching and accidents. The hog deer is listed as endangered, IUCN 3.1, globally, and is also protected under Schedule 1 of the Indian Wildlife Protection Act, 1972, reflecting its severely threatened status. There were 500 individuals sighted in year 2019. The Indian hog deer is threatened by deforestation and habitat loss. The conversion of its natural habitat, primarily floodplain grasslands, for agriculture, human settlement, and commercial development is a major driver of its population decline. Habitat loss impacts hog deer by vulnerability to floods, increased human-wildlife conflict, habitat fragmentation, destruction of grassland ecosystems. Indian pangolin is classified as endangered in IUCN status. The population is believed to be extremely low and vulnerable. From year 2018 to 2022 there were approximately 1,200 pangolins were poached for their meat and scales. The Indian pangolin is threatened by deforestation, but it is one of several major factors driving the species' decline. The primary threat is rampant poaching and the illegal wildlife trade, which is severely compounded by habitat loss from deforestation and land conversion. Deforestation and habitat loss destroys homes and burrows, eliminates food sources, increases exposure to threats, degrades remaining habitats, pushes animals toward conflict. The Sarus crane's presence in Punjab is marginal and severely threatened due to habitat loss, non-breeding, rare sightings, in Punjab extremely low, likely single digits or a handful of pairs in wild pockets, confirmed to be just one pair in the Ropar. Deforestation itself is not a direct threat to the Sarus crane because it primarily inhabits wetlands and agricultural fields, not forests. However, the human activities that cause deforestation, such as conversion of land for agriculture, construction, and other development, are the primary drivers of the wetland destruction that imperils the species. This is how human expansion, which includes deforestation, affects Sarus cranes. Increased collisions with power lines, construction and urbanization, pesticide poisoning, expansion of agriculture, destruction of wetland habitat.